Alright everyone, it's time for the start of the final game of the night, Game 5. My name is Mad Cow, and joining me tonight is Telfi. We'll be casting this game. Picks and bans are coming out right now. We're starting with the blue team. We'll see who they ban out. Got Malphite coming out as the first ban. Pretty strong champ. Nothing surprising there. Lux is a second ban. Not sure what to say about that. Not a very common ban, but maybe someone on that team just doesn't like playing against the Lux mid. Let's see what happens there.
She's just an overall champ. She's just really strong. I mean, her combo can just one-shot the enemy carry at the later game, so you never want to deal with that.
Yeah, Blitzcrank coming out as a third ban. No surprise there again. He's extremely strong in the lane, especially against people that aren't very smart. I don't know, he just punishes people for making small mistakes, and he's an extremely common ban. Garen is the fourth ban. Again, not like the most common ban, but just maybe a pet peeve for someone playing top lane. You can't stand against Garen. Maybe they've done their research. They know someone on the other team plays Garen very well.
Yeah, I mean, he's the lane bully. I mean, he just silences you and he just spins on top of you. You can't really do much to get away unless you pick a kiting champ, so it's a good strong ban.
That is true. Fifth ban is Shen. Again, it seems like one team is making these like one size fits all bans, like Malphite, Blitz, Shen. You see those like almost every game, and just the common bans. Who is the sixth ban? I think we're still waiting on. Oh no, I can't see the sixth ban. I'll tell you who it is in a second. I believe it was a Mumu, who is also, you know, we ban him. His AoE ult is just really strong, can turn a team fight around, can change a game. So no surprise there, seeing that ban come out. First pick is going to be Kale, whether we're not sure if we'll see a top or mid, but it's locked in. We'll see what goes from there. His ult very strong, keeping someone alive with the intervention. Just a strong person. On the on the red side now, we have Alistar coming out.
Yeah, you know what? Alistar can just punish somebody with his combo. I mean, you never know if he's gonna be in the jungle. It's very rare, but as a support, if he lands his combo, it's just like it's gonna be over pretty much if you have an AD carry that can just burst that target down. They are taking their time with the second pick, though. I'm not quite sure what they're thinking. That Alistar will probably be swapped out. Koog is probably going to look to play somewhat of a Hecarim or like an Olaf with that Ghost Smite, but there you go, he switches. So they do have Alistar and a Taric right now. I'm not quite sure what that is going to lead to, but we'll see.
Oh, sorry about that. I accidentally pulled out my internet cable. I'm back though. A little technical difficulties.
Lee Sin, just an early game, aggressive jungler, can turn the tides late into anything. We do have a Gangplank. I mean, you don't really see that very often, but we'll see what they're going to do with this.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, Lee Sin, very aggressive jungler. We'll look for him to be very active early on in the game. His gank's really strong, tons of damage. His E will provide that slow. If Cho'Gath comes out, it'll be an interesting pick. We'll bring some good CC to the team. Some much needed CC looking at what they have so far. They're looking for a pretty good comp right now. They'll catch someone out probably, and they're just going to burst one person down. That's what it looks like so far for the blue team. Red team picking up Renekton, very strong. We've seen teams like TSM using him a lot in the LCS. He's really good with that armor shred. And he's almost unkillable as he comes to the late game. He just gets so tanky in that top lane. And Xerath looks like he might be getting picked here. Not the most common pick, but we'll have to see if he locks in with that.
Yeah, I believe Renekton, Mega Zero from Marn, I think he's played him in every single game in LCS right now. He's just really a strong champ. He's a lane bully. His early game is unreal, and he just becomes an unkillable force in a team fight.
So the blue team's going to have the decision if they're going to want to send Cho'Gath or Kale into that top lane to face up against him. We'll see if he changes that as Xerath locks in. Zerath mid will be interesting. Maybe he knows he can play well against Kale or Cho'Gath. We'll have to see. We got options on the blue team, so it's hard to say what matchups we're going to see so far. They can change it up to either the Cho'Gath or the Kale will go in each lane. They get to pick their matchups, whichever one they like better. We'll see. Maybe Kale could end up going bottom, but I doubt that. We'll see what happens. Blue team will be picking their bot lane now. We'll see who they have. Then they're going to be going up against a Taric, which is a pretty aggressive support. It's pretty strong. Actually, Taric is just an all-around good support. He can protect his AD carry. He can play aggressive. His ult is really good in team fights because we have the Ezreal being picked. He's probably just the most like Ezreal Lulu. Okay, so we have a bit of a poke comp coming for the bot lane, which is smart against someone who's scary like Taric. Ezreal is just really strong. He's all around good. He has like lots of mobility, some pretty good damage. Of course, Lulu's ultimate will be good for protecting either Ezreal or someone who dives in. Maybe a Lee Sin coming to dive in. And with that Kale ult and that Lulu ult, we could see someone potentially being baited. That's like a lot of ways of saving someone from death. So we'll
say the blue team's like a bit of a poke comp, but they're also like an anti-dive comp. They have the Lulu ult and the Kale ult, so like I don't expect the red team to be doing many divings that are successful at least.
That's very true. And lastly, the Kog'Maw's coming out. He's a very strong hyper carry. It'll be interesting to see how he does in the starting lane. Looks like Ezreal and Lulu might look to apply some pressure, shut him down, but if it goes to the late game, I think he'll be a strong pick. He'll do lots of damage. He'll have Alistar to protect him, Renekton to protect him, Taric to protect him, a big front line. He should be able to carry his team if he plays well in the early game and gets into the late game strong.
Yeah, I believe it was Doublelift who said that Kog'Maw and Vayne are pretty much the only AD carries that are good in this meta right now. I mean, he's a pretty good AD carry himself, so I'd believe what he said.
That is very true. So champs are getting swapped around now. It looks like we're going to have, for the purple side, Zerath mid, Renekton top, Alistar in the jungle, and Kog'Maw and Taric bot lane. And for the blue team, we're going to have Lulu Ezreal bot, Lee Sin in the jungle, and then Kale and Cho'Gath will be mid and top. We're not sure which way they'll go. Probably Cho'Gath mid, Kale top, I'd say. I don't know. What do you think, Telfi? Where do you think they're going to go?
I'm going to just go ahead and say that Cho'Gath will be top just because of the ghost pickup. I mean, you don't really see that from a mid player.
Oh, yeah, very smart, very smart. I didn't even think you'd see that. You're probably right. I just think that Kale would lane stronger against Renekton, but maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think either of them are too favorable against Zerath with that long range. We'll see how they do. I mean, he does have teleport, so look for some aggressive ganks from Zerath. Don't normally see that. For sure.
So I think for purple team, their game plan's going to be as they get into the team fight phase, just to look to protect Kog'Maw and Zerath in the back. They got the big front line. Maybe get in the face of those people and just try to let them do the damage. And for the blue team, they're going to look to maybe catch someone, maybe playing a bit too aggressive. If a Renekton dives in or something, they have a lot of bait potential with the Lulu ult, the Kale ult, and they have some punishing CC, the Lee Sin kick, obviously the Cho'Gath Q. I just feel like they're going to be the team that if they catch someone, they can put them down quickly, and that's how they're going to take control of the game. But what team do you pick to win it, just looking at the champs so far?
I honestly think that the red team has a better chance. I mean, they have Kog'Maw, who's just going to do so much damage if he doesn't get shut down, and Renekton's just unkillable. Alistar's just got so much CC. Taric can stun whoever he wants, and Zerath can do damage from like across the map if he wants. So basically, I think it's going to be the red team. We'll have some controversy in our picks here.
Yeah, I'm going to have to disagree with you. I'm picking the blue team to win it. I feel like Alistar has a lot of pressure on him. If he can't jungle very well early on, he's going to fall behind. And I feel like Lee Sin is a very easy and safe jungler to play. Like of course he's not easy to play, but most people that play him know how to play him very well. I think the Lee Sin will get some kills early on for his team. He's going to play aggressive, and I don't know if Alistar will be so successful.
I mean, I expect a level 1 invade coming up from the blue team to try and shut that Alistar down, because an Alistar without buffs is not going to be able to clear his jungle at all, and he'll just be completely useless. So I guess you're right in that aspect of the game.
It actually will be interesting to see how the invade at level 1 goes, because it will be risky for them invading against a Taric and an Alistar. That's a lot of CC coming out. I think that purple team may have the advantage at level 1, but then again, Cho'Gath landing a Q. Actually, both teams have a decently strong level 1. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be about the positioning. Maybe a bit of luck will come into factor. We never know who's going to get caught. It's hard to say right now which team's going to get the advantage at level 1, or whether we'll see an invade or not. Maybe both teams will play passive. They'll be fearing each other. We'll see. I'm sure they're scheming up something as we discuss. So yeah, Kog'Maw has he's taking cleanse this game. Of course, he knows that he's gonna have all the pressure on him to do the damage for his team, other than Xerath, of course. But he knows he can't afford to get caught. He knows the other team will be punishing him if he gets caught. If a Cho'Gath Q lands on him, Lulu's slow might be enough. The Kale slow might be enough. He has to be very careful. Can't afford to be CC'd. He can get taken out really quickly. He needs to stay alive in the back for his team. And of course, with that W, that's gonna give him the range. He's gonna be able to fire for a long time. He'll be able to stay back and safe.
Yeah, besides Tristana, Kog'Maw definitely has the longest range in the game. And going back to what you said about cleanse, I mean, it's kind of a shame that Ezreal isn't running it against this comp. If he gets hit by that CC, he's done for.
And it's very true, yeah. Well, I've been talking about a lot of the blue team CC, but the purple team CC is actually even stronger. So yeah, I think he's counting on just being able to escape with his E. Another interesting thing actually is that the mid laner for the red team does have teleport, as Xerath has teleport. Kale does not. We'll have to see if Kale can use that ignite to play aggressive in lane, and whether Xerath will be able to play smart with teleport, maybe snowball top lane or bot lane, have a 3-man or a 4-man gank bot maybe. We'll have to see. He can split push later on in the game. There's lots of options that come with the teleport, whereas the ignite's only really strong in the lane early on for putting some aggression. I'm going to say that if Xerath doesn't die early on, he's going to have the advantage with the teleport later as the game continues on.
I did have a client crash, unfortunately, so Madkel will be bringing you the first bit of the game, and I'll get back in as soon as I possibly can.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on me now. Come on, client, you can get in here. You can do it. Yeah, an important thing to note actually, we have 3 skins versus 3 skins, so no advantage there. No Pulsefire Ezreal, usually a very strong skin. Gotta be careful for that one. And the Alistair is not using the free skin, so very impressive there. Yeah, we're just waiting on Ezreal to finish uploading now. He's got the highest ping in the game. We'll give him some time to get in here.
A lot of people haven't been using Pulsefire Ezreal lately because he does have that bug that you'll get a CS, but the gold won't pop up, so you actually don't know if you get it, which is kind of unfortunate. So that's probably why we see a lot more Frosted Ezreals. I mean, it's pretty much the same skin. It's just...
No, it doesn't cost the same. No, there's a difference. There's a difference. It's the rich kids versus the poor kids.
I think it's like 3,000 RP less. So.
He's got the poor skin and the high ping, man. Original broski. I'm against him already.
Yeah, like basically Tarek, Xerath, and Alistair are the server. Like their pings are just ridiculous. Like I wouldn't want to go up against them in lane. Like Alistair won't miss a single combo, I bet you.
Oh yeah. Got nothing to talk about but the connections for now. We're waiting for this slow Ezreal. Yeah, I envy those with the low pings. I usually sit around 90 myself, so we'll see. Maybe one day I'll be able to get some good internet.
Well, it doesn't help that we live in Canada, worst servers of the world, and like we're pretty far away from NA servers, so we don't really get the best pings or load times.
That is true. That is true. The question though is, where does Original Broski live? Like, he must be up in Alaska or something, because 190. It's just unreal. He's got something downloading, maybe some illegal videos.
Yeah, it's a really common mistake to leave your uTorrent open when you're playing a game of League of Legends. It can really turn the tide.
Can't be forgetting about uTorrent. Right you are, Telfie. Right you are.
Okay, well, like, we really need to talk about Broski's connection. I mean, still at 37%. It's just, I mean, he's going up maybe a percent a minute. So, let's shift the topic. Who do you predict to win the LCS this year, Thomas?
Oh well, put me on the spotlight. I am a TSM fan till the death, so I want to say TSM, but I mean, if I had to pick it, if I couldn't say TSM because that's biased, I'm gonna have to go with Team Curse. I don't know. I feel like they have the most drive out of any team, and like out of any of the like contenders. Like maybe Marn has some like determination, but I don't think they're that good. I think Curse just has the most like skill versus like determination. And I think that in the long run they're gonna pull ahead. But then again, I don't know. CLG is very strong, so we'll see. It'll be between Curse and CLG for sure, but I think Curse will take it in the end. What about you?
Well, I'm always rooting for Dyrus because like that story with him and his dad was just really touching, and so I'll always be a TSM fan. But yeah, Curse seems to have the most drive. I don't know if you ever saw that video before the LCS qualifiers. They all seem like they needed to win, and they're still doing that.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. And I don't know. They made their way through the qualifier and they've been playing so well. I don't know. I feel like they have the most potential to win. And of course, anything can change in this season, but it'll be interesting to see. I don't know. I just feel like Curse is very strong. They play well. And that brings us to the start of the game. I think Ezreal's finally completed. So here we are. We have game number 5 starting up very soon. Everybody looks to be done loading.
But the game still hasn't started because Alaska.
There we go. Okay, we're underway. Alright. Got some pings from the red team. They look like they'll be going for a little invade in the bottom lane. Try bush. Zerath's Endurance Ring. No sustain there, no boots. He'll be extremely vulnerable early on. He's a pretty slow champion himself. Renekton starting with that red flask. What are your opinions on that red flask start for a top laner?
Well, it's very powerful on Renekton due to the fact that when he hits 6, he can pop it and he'll get all that health from the red pot and from his ult. And it's also just very strong on top laners when you can get it during an engage and just completely turn the tide.
Yeah, for sure. I think looks like Cho'Gath will be heading top lane. You were right. He started Doran's shield, so maybe looking for a little bit of sustain. I'm not sure if that's the best item to start. We'll see how it works out. It'll be Renekton versus Cho'Gath. It'll be an interesting matchup. But yeah, the red team has stacked up in this tribush, and Lulu does not see them coming. Oh, she does. She does walk away. Lucky enough. We'll see if she goes in there. As blue team sets up around red buff.
Just kind of playing the waiting game here. I mean, Lulu could get caught here.
Yeah, here she's coming in. Oh, this could be the end for her. There it comes, all the abilities, and goodbye, Lulu. First blood for Kog'Maw. It's really good that of course, our red team got first blood, but they gave it to Kog'Maw, so he's going to be able to have that really big lane advantage as the red team makes their way into red buff. Lee Sin for the blue team is going to head over to blue buff instead of red buff. He chooses just to switch sides instead of go for the other team's red buff.
So I believe that was 400 gold for Kog'Maw.
Yes, it was. We'll see if he chooses to go back first, get something to give him a big advantage, or if he's just going to wait in lane, farm it out, then next time he goes back, have something even bigger. Looks like he's just going to head to lane. He doesn't want to let Ezreal free farm for a bit, which I would say is a smart decision.
It could be a smart decision, but if Ezreal does indeed outfarm him, the advantage there isn't going to be too strong. I mean, like if he needed to get that longsword, I think before he came back to lane, it wasn't a very smart decision on Kog'Maw's part. I don't think they needed him to help out with the invade lead.
Alright, but Alistair coming in with the headbutt. Lulu looks like she might go down a second time already. Oh boy, she flashes up, but she's still stunned, and Alistair actually picking up the kill this time. Wow, Lulu already having a rough game. 2 minutes and 30 seconds in. She's already gone down twice. Red team already with the 1k lead in gold. Lee Sin at red buff. Renekton's going to find him there, and he's going to have to flash out of that one to stay alive. So no luck for Lee Sin counter jungling early on. Renekton was just heading top lane after their early invade, and he caught him there. So yeah, no flash on Lee Sin. He's going to have to be careful early game, as Renekton goes to face Cho'Gath top lane.
Yeah, they have Ezreal running scared right now. He's staying at his turret. He can't even farm. I mean, it's It's pretty bad, and here's the pause coming out.
Yeah, so the pause is coming out. We already see a big advantage for the red team bot lane, and we're going to have to, if blue team wants a chance, they're going to have to hope that they can shut down Kog'Maw, because if he gets to the late game and he's going to be strong, it's going to be really hard for the blue team to come back. Especially with all that protection CC that the red team has. I mean, with the Renekton running wild, the Alistar CCing, the Taric CCing, there's just, I don't see a way of them really getting to Kog'Maw, unless they catch him somehow with a Cho'Gath Q or something, but he'll probably be smart about it. He's going to stay in the back. He's got cleanse. He should be safe. What do you think is going to happen top lane, though? Because I know Renekton was late getting to the lane. If you look right now, Cho'Gath is actually up 8 CS on him. He's up a level on him. Do you think that Cho'Gath will be able to win that lane? I think it'll be important for them. If they want to have a chance in coming back, Cho'Gath is going to need to win that lane now that bot lane is looking so dim. Do you think that he'll have a chance of winning that now?
What Cho'Gath needs to do is he needs to keep an advantage like on the levels, and if he can force an engage when he's up a level, he has a chance. But Renekton does have that assist, so that 8 CS lead isn't really much of a difference. But we will see what he can do. If he can land some nice combos, I think Renekton can go down in the early game.
Yeah, so game coming back on. Yeah, so right away, Cho'Gath is going aggressive on Renekton, getting him to about half health, just using a small combo on him. It'll be interesting to see. I think he can already feel the pressure. He's going to know that he needs to carry his team here. Ezreal is having no luck bot lane. He's already down almost 10 CS. What about the mid lane? It looks like to be pretty even in the mid lane. Xerath did get that assist in the invade. He will be up slightly in gold. He's up 1 CS right now. Alistar comes mid lane. Will he pick up the kill? He got the headbutt, the pulverize. They're chasing down KO, but she will get away easily.
Good flash coming out there from Kale, and the rupture just missing on Renekton. Did not see that.
Yeah, so Xerath actually did burn his flash there. So I believe both mid laners do have flash down, so we'll look for the junglers to return to that lane. As I'm speaking, top lane, there's going to be some action. Alistar coming for another gank. Cho'Gath is really low. I think he knows he's going to die here. He's going to keep running, but he's most likely dead. Renekton's going to flash there just to chase him down. Will he catch him? It looks like he should catch him. Alistar's actually going to flash and pick it up with his headbutt. So I think there was, in the last minute, about 4 or 5 flashes burnt. Alistar's going to pick up another kill. He's actually been, I badmouthed him at the start. I said he was going to have trouble early game, but he's been everywhere. He got the invade, he was mid, he was top, he was bot, he's just been a force everywhere. And Lee Sin, on the other hand, has not been doing much. I'm not sure if that invade at the start screwed him over because he didn't get his red buff. But yeah, he's just not been doing as well as Alistar has.
Yeah, like you said, Alistar's been everywhere. I mean, I've been really surprised. He's playing great right now.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that Cho'Gath, after getting ganked, and like you think he would have realized how strong the Alistar is. He's not even buying a ward. He's just leaving himself vulnerable to more ganks. Hopefully, Renekton will see that communicated with his jungler, and Alistar will know to come back as the lane pushes to keep snowballing that lane in its favor.
Also in that top exchange, we had Alistar and Renekton burn their flashes, and Cho'Gath did save his ghost, so he possibly could have got away there. I mean, he seemed like he was doing fine, just no boots, just running away. I mean, maybe he's running some move speed quints, I'm not quite sure, but he did a good job almost staying alive, and he didn't even have to burn one of his summoners. So Cho'Gath has both his summoners, and Renekton has none, so look for him to be aggressive here and try and engage.
And meanwhile in bot lane, Ezreal and Lulu have actually pushed the lane back, and he was down about 10 CS earlier. He's cut that to about 5, which isn't that significant, but I mean it still shows he's out farming a bit now early. Like he's not out farming, but he's making up the lead. As Alistar is coming for an engaged bot lane, we'll see how this turns out. Taric will actually stun Lulu instead. Looks like they're just going to pick up another kill on her. She's not going to be worth as much gold as she was earlier, just because she's already going to be 0-3. We'll see how much they get for that. 182 gold going to Kog'Maw for that kill. It's still good. Taric actually going to flash land the E and the exhaust. Alistar is getting angry. He's going to look to finish him. Oh, accidentally headbutts the minion instead of Ezreal. Huge mistake there. He's not going to get the kill. Wow, Ezreal escapes very luckily. Unfortunate mistake there from Alistar, headbutting the minion instead.
So second gank in a row as well, top lane. I mean, Lee Sin at first, he just kind of got juked out, and then he came back, he hit a Q, but Cho'Gath had nothing to follow it up. So 2 unsuccessful games for Lee Sin. Wasted quite a bit of time, and he's already really behind. And bot lane, I guess that was a pretty good exchange. Kind of a bad play, headbutting the minion, but hey, it happens.
Yeah, he did get the 1 kill, so at least it was sort of worth it. And Xerath actually getting an engage on Cho'Gath top. He's going to land the stun. Will Renekton be able to catch up in time? I don't think so. Cho'Gath looks like he will get away. Zerath going to do some damage, though. Get him to about half health, which isn't horrible. It's always good to roam when the other team's mid laner goes back. We'll see what he tries to do now, as Lee Sin looks like he's going to be coming top. Oh no, maybe he's just dropping a ward. Blue buff actually coming up for the blue team now. They're going to give it to Kayle.
Yeah, Kayle very strong with blue buff. She can pretty much use her E on cooldown and just farm for days, so...
Yeah, so it looks like Kayle will be going for that Stinger mid lane, whereas Zerath picked up the tier. He's going to need that mana to keep, he'll be able to use his abilities a long time in a lane. You won't have to go back and spam his abilities. Looks like both junglers are actually heading top lane. It's going to be an interesting 2v2 here. They're going to ping out the Alistar. They're going to know and they're going to back off, I think. Both teams are going to choose to back off. They're not going to want to fight this.
Somewhat unfortunate that Cho'Gath didn't have mana there. I mean, Renekton was pretty low. I guess he still had his flask and his ult, but if he had enough for Feast, I think it would have done the trick.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're very hesitant. They know they're already behind. They don't want to give it up anymore. I'm sure motivation is a little, or morale's a little low on that side. They're down 4-0 already, so they don't want to try anything too crazy right now. They need to get their confidence back before they try anything ridiculous.
Interesting choice here from Ezreal, building the components for the Phage, because he's already behind, and normally you don't want that kind of damage.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but again coming down top, or sorry, mid lane, Alistar's going to actually land all of his stuff onto Kayle, who's going to flash away. Despite the ultimate, Alistar will still pick up the kill. Actually, I'm sorry, Kayle did not even use intervention there. I'm not sure if she was out of mana or what, but she did not use it. And that is why that gank was successful. Alistar, I think, burned flash there to pick up that kill, but good job, nonetheless. As he gives Zerath the blue buff. And I really have to give props to Alistar. Like, their team's up 5-0, and he's 3-0-2 already. He has been a force for his team. He is the reason that they're winning. Just exceptional play for him.
Anytime you're in on every kill as a player, no matter what role you're playing, you're doing something right. And he's just been everywhere. And look at another game coming here, bot.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that one did not work out, but I mean, Kog'Maw still getting some really good damage. Lee Sin looking to make a counter gank, actually, as Zerath is there too, so it's a 4v3. Lee Sin hopping on his Zerath, maybe not the best choice. Misses his flash, unfortunately. Alistar's gonna steal that kill. Scumbag Alistar, I guess he's just angry. He's angry. He's been everywhere. He wants that kill. And it's still 4v2 with, maybe they're gonna look to poke them down, maybe push the lane. Well, I wonder if they'll try to do Dragon, since they have numbers here.
Yeah, I mean, when you see the cow running at you, he gets pretty angry. It's very scary. I mean, Ezreal barely survived that encounter, and
yeah,
they weren't
looks like he
down
might go down here. Oh no, he's gonna get away. One more auto attack would have finished him off. Alistar's gonna be heading mid here. I don't think Kayle has vision of it, or maybe Alistar's coming back. Kind of some indecision from him.
And I have seen this from past Kog'Maws who just don't put points in their queue. I mean, it's not very that useful, and like hardly do you want to actually get in the range to use your Q on Kog'Maw when you're normally that long range AD carry. It's kind of like some people on Ezreal.
Yeah. And that first dragon being attempted by the red team. They're up 6-0 right now, so they can confidently take that. They get it at the 11 minute mark approximately, and they have about a 3.5k goal lead, which is pretty good considering we're this early in the game. Just to sum up, we got Zerath, who's about tied in CS with Kayle, but he's up 3 assists, so we'll give him the slight advantage. Top lane Cho'Gath is out farming, but Renekton has some assists. We'll say it's about even there. And then, of course, the junglers, Alistar has been completely outplaying Lee Sin. Lee Sin has had 0 successful ganks, whereas Alistar has been almost successful every single time. He's really snowballing each lane for his team. And Kog'Maw, because of that Alistar help, has really gained the lead on Ezreal. He's at farm and 2 kills and 2 assists. So yeah, almost every lane is, the top lane and the mid lanes are pretty even, but that bot lane is really snowballing the red team's favor, which is what they wanted, because they know that Kog'Maw's going to be that hyper carry late game.
Yeah, looking at the gold leads, Mad Cow, purple has a slight edge in a few lanes, and then Kog'Maw's got a 1200 gold lead, and Alistar's got a 1200 gold lead as well, so they're just doing work.
Zerath actually teleporting in mid lane. He looks like he's going to try to attempt to kill Kayle here. It's not looking like too favorable for him, actually. Kayle might win this. The ult is going to keep Kayle alive from a lot of stuff, and the mains are actually going to finish him off, so Kale's going to pick up a kill despite Zerath teleporting in and trying to fight him. I'm not sure if he thought overestimated his damage or if he underestimated Kale, but he went down there. And I'm sorry, some action bot lane as Kog'Maw and Taric are going to pick up Lulu and almost take down Ezreal.
I mean, they can do that all they want. I mean, they should just be going for Ezreal now and like Lulu.
Yeah. Here he's going to look to pick up Taric, but he will get stunned and exhausted. Kog'Maw really strong, going to look to finish off Ezreal, who's going to get away. I wonder what Lee Sin will try to do here. Ezreal missing the ult actually on Kog'Maw, which probably wouldn't have finished him off anyways, but looks like both teams are going to get away. Some action top lane as Cho'Gath is just dealing damage on their ranked, and he's really starting to bully him around.
So and we get into our first team fight. I look for Cho'Gath and Kale to be doing all the kills because they're doing fairly well themselves. Xerath didn't have the smartest play, teleporting into a Kale under turret with ult. Not quite sure why he did that. I don't know if he actually got hit by the turret at all, but that was a very smart play. And as I say that, Cho'Gath does pick up his first kill, which is going to get him ahead in the gold lead. So that's a good job.
Yeah, for sure. He's really going to need to push that advantage top lane if he wants to be strong for his team. They're really going to need him to be tanky for team fights because Kog'Maw is looking to be really scared. They're going to need someone on that red team, or sorry, the blue team, probably Cho'Gath, to get in there and really disrupt Kog'Maw. It could have been him, could have been Lee Sin, but I think it's going to end up having to be Cho'Gath. Yeah, bot lane, Lulu is just getting bullied around. Actually, she did some damage to Kog'Maw there, but the red team has a huge advantage bot lane. They're going to continue being aggressive, especially with that Taric pick. The blue team should not be trying to engage at all here. They should just be poking and backing off, and that really hasn't been the case. They've been trying to play a little bit too aggressive, and it hasn't been helping them out.
And the tanks for the red team, or the blue team, sorry, they're going to be wanting to build armor because of Kog'Maw's W does percentage health. The health stacking, I mean, although it's been very prominent.
But Alistar is heading top lane right now for the engage on Cho'Gath. He did ward the blue buff, but decided to go here instead. He's going to get a lot of CC. He's really going to try to help out his top laner here, who's in a bit of a hole. Cho'Gath will land the rupture on both of them, and he will get away safely. But the ward on blue buff, Xerath did steal the blue buff, actually. Wow. Xerath had vision of the blue buff, and he stole it from Kale and Lee Sin. So that is like well done by him. Really going to shut down Kale. Kale isn't the most mana-dependent person, but it really helps when she gets that blue buff. Big engage ball lane, actually. Sorry, lots of action going on so far. Ezreal's actually going to pick up the kill on Cho'Gath. Looks like Cho'Gath will finish him off with his passive. It's going to be the support battle now. Who will win it? Looks like Lulu's got the advantage. Oh, but Taric might get away. Oh, the flash and the kill from Lulu. There we go. Lulu's back in the game with that kill. She's going to get 400 gold, I think, from that. Good for her. So blue team actually coming out on top in that advantage ball lane. Or in that engaged ball lane. I'm not sure how that happened. Alistar coming around though. Looks like he will pick up Lulu probably here, unless she can outsmart him somehow. No, he will get the headbutt on her, so she won't be able to escape to the turret. Looks like she'll go down here. Good job by Alistar, recognizing that she was trying to farm the lane there. A bit greedy on her part.
Yes, and in that engaged bot lane, what really turned it around was the Lulu ult. They thought they were going to finish Ezreal off with the last Kog'Maw attack, but the Lulu ult gave him that extra bit of health. His ult hit Kog'Maw, which just absolutely chunked him, and Ezreal needed one auto attack to finish him off. Unfortunately, a cat surprise.
Lee Sin actually going mid, trying to defend the turret. He's going to kick Xerath into the turret. Xerath trying to get away. Will Xerath be able to actually burst him down here? It's going to be interesting to see who wins this fight. Lee Sin will pick up the kill, actually. Really good for him. He's been behind, and he's going to get some much-needed gold to help him get back in the game. Huge engage ball. Sorry, I missed that. Alistar actually coming to gank again, picking up another kill for Cho'Gath. My goodness, Alistar has been playing really well for his team. He's been on 8 of 10 kills, and he's been snowballing that ball in for his team really well. I just can't give enough props to him. He's been the game changer for his team this game. On top lane, Cho'Gath is just continuing to bully Renekton around. He's got him sitting at about 20% health. His feast is up, so I think he's just looking for a time he can land a rupture and maybe go for a feast and look to finish him off. They're going to be giving Kog'Maw actually the blue buff. Or may no, Scumbag Alistar steals it with his passive. Unbelievable. I guess he's allowed to make a mistake when he's 5-0-3. We'll give it to him, but I'm sure Kog'Maw isn't too happy about that one.
Also very interesting, Xerath did build tier, but he upgraded to Archangel Staff before it was even close to stacked. It's not even halfway, and that's just not really...
Sorry to interrupt again, but the ball lane, Lee Sin's coming for the gank. The Lulu ult's going to come onto him. it looks like they're going to pick up the kill on Tarek here. Let's see how this works out. Yeah, they will get the kill on Tarek.
Lulu picks it up.
And so Cho'Gath did get that kill. Lulu picked up the kill for his team. Unfortunate that Lulu got it. Ezreal would have liked it. There's just a lot of action going around. They seem to like to engage at the same time, top lane and bot lane. Just like to mess with the casters. As blue team goes for a dragon.
Yeah, this is going to be huge for them. They're clawing back into this game slowly and picking up this dragon. They're only down by 1k right now, and
yeah, which is really nothing. I mean, it's going to come down to like who's got the better positioning if they ever team fight. Red team did not even try to contest that, so I'm not sure if they didn't have it timed or if they just agreed that there was no way they were going to get that because Alistar wasn't there. Alistar's actually going to get revenge for that dragon. He's coming bot lane right now. He's angry. Tarek isn't there, but he's with those boots of mobility, he is really fast. Will he be able to land the Q? The flash Q will get both of them. Wow. Xerath also coming in here. One of them should go down here. Xerath actually using his range ability a bit too far out. He turret dives. They go 2 for 1. And Lee Sin picks up the kill. I would say that was worth it. Unfortunate by Xerath. He used his abilities his range ability a bit too far out from the turret and he couldn't get it in, so he had to turret dive there. Didn't know Lee Sin was there and he ended up paying for it.
He really got chunked by Lee Sin there in the turret. He died really fast. I was expecting him to be able to get those kills and get away, but Lee Sin did a good job hitting his abilities onto him.
Yeah, for sure. They will be picking up the first turret of the game, actually, red team bot lane. So yeah, they did go 2 for 1 and got the turret. Well done by them. So I guess Xerath in the end it was a smart play by him. He's 1 in 3, but I mean that death was not necessarily not worth it. It was good for him, good for his team. Shots being traded back and forth top lane, but I mean, as this goes on and on, they're eventually just going to become too tanky, and they're both just going to end up farming it out. But Cho'Gath is getting really big. They're going to need to shut him down soon with a Alistar gank. I mean, Alistar has been trying to help out top lane, but Cho'Gath has just become too strong. I don't think he'll be able to do anything now. He knows he's coming. Will he be able to land the Q? He's chasing him down. Lots of action, actually, but Xerath and Kog'Maw and Tarek are pushing mid turret. Ezreal all coming in. He's going to try to stop them. Looks like they will not be able... They will save the turret, actually, for now. It's sitting at very low health. They're going to look to come back, engage this maybe. Probably not going to get it.
And
but yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I truly believe that Cho'Gath is not going to be killed unless there is a 5-man gang top. Once Cho'Gath gets going, you just can't do anything about it. Also an interesting choice from Renekton. He went Brutalizer instead of the Hex Drinker against Cho'Gath, and that's probably why he's getting chunked so hard.
Yeah, the Hex Drinker is a very good choice for Renekton top lane. It's very common we see it, and especially against those AP bruisers like Cho'Gath. But yeah, Cho'Gath, like you said, has that Warmox, that Glacial Shroud. He's extremely tanky. Of course, he's got his feast stacks. He's looking really unkillable right now. But it's going to be the job of the rest of the red team to really push that advantage. They have that advantage amongst the other 4 members of their team. So they're going to have to force Alistar to come back and help out his team. And then maybe Renekton can push top. And just like I said, red team will pick up a kill on Kayle there. I mean, Kayle getting caught out. They really just need to, like, the 4 members other than Renekton and Cho'Gath, the 4 members 4v4, red team has the advantage. So they just need to keep forcing that fights and pushing turrets while Cho'Gath is top. And that way he just can't help his team. And if he does choose to come, then Renekton will be able to take the turret. The turret's one shot. Should get taken out here. Xerath landing some auto attacks. There we go. Alistar is going to pop Shurelia's get in. Ezreal will E away, though, and Alistar in anchors presses its Q, even though it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, and if you noticed, Kayle, she got bursted down so fast, she didn't even have a chance to ult herself and flash away. That's just how much damage is coming out from the red team right now.
Yeah, that's the second time actually I've seen Kayle die without using her ult. I think the first time she might have been out of mana, but I mean, just kind of unfortunate for her that she has that ultimate ability and she isn't even using it. I'm not sure if she's inexperienced with Kayle or if there's just some unfortunate circumstance. Maybe she was stunned there and she just had no chance. Kog'Maw going back to farm blue or bot lane, and it looks like everyone's going to back off. Renekton going back to shop. Yeah, Cho'Gath went back, picked up his Warden's mail. He's looking to finish off that Frozen Heart. He'll be extremely tanky with that. A very good item for him. Gives him mana, armor, and cooldown reduction. All great stats on his part. Ezreal looking to finish off that Triforce, so he's gonna be pretty weak for a couple more minutes. And once he finishes off that Triforce, we're gonna see a big damage jump in him. I'm not sure if that was the smartest choice for him, considering he was behind in lane. You usually want to go, if you're behind, like Bloodthirster is usually a safe bet over the Triforce. And of course, if you look at Kog'Maw, he's got the Infinity Edge, the Zeal, the Vampiric Scepter. He's looking really strong for team fights. He just needs to stand back, land those auto attacks. The crits will do tons of damage. He's looking really strong. Also, Alistar with that Shurilias and the Spirit of the Ancient Golem item. He's extremely strong. He can jungle successfully now. He's going to finally sin in the mid lane. Will he be able to do anything? I don't think so. But he just wants to do it for the sake of doing it. He's Alistar. He can do whatever he wants. And so yeah, Renekton is yet to be extremely tanky. I mean, it's gonna take some time. He's not having the greatest lane now. He's down about 30 CS, and Cho'Gath is kind of just pushing around whenever he wants. Cho'Gath actually doing tons of damage. Looks like he might turret dive him here. Sorry, I'm gonna switch to mid. Looks like there's gonna be yeah. Is Ezreal getting chased down? Alistar's gonna flash for him, but I don't think he's gonna be able to get there. Kog'Maw doing lots of damage with his R. As Xerath looks to be getting caught out. No, looks like they're going to turn around onto Lee Sin. Lee Sin's going to flash and get the KO out to get out. Lulu's getting caught now. She's trying to finish off Xerath. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. They're just converging onto Xerath, protecting him. Taric and Alistar are just bullying everyone around. They got so much CC. Ezreal coming in. Oh, it's just going to miss Xerath by a bit. Kayle might not get away here. She's really low. Xerath's going to miss his ability. Alistar is just continuing to bully around. He is so tanky. Xerath will end up picking up the kill. Lulu also goes down. And Kog'Maw coming in the back. It looks like he's going to pick up a double kill here. Oh, Taric seals it with the Dazzle. Good play by the red team all around. I'm not sure if the blue team got a little greedy there. I think they should have just backed off after the initial damage. They were trying too hard to kill Xerath. And Taric and Alistar were just CCing them for a long time. Now red team's also going to get a dragon out of this. So yeah, just not a very good engage with the blue team. I'm not sure what they were trying to get out of that. I think what they really need is to bring the jungler top lane so they could end the turret earlier, or end the lane earlier by killing the turret, and then they could get Cho'Gath's help, because they really need his help. Now that they have it, now that the turret's down, they can use his help. We'll see how he affects the team fights, but I think that they really should have ended that lane a lot earlier, because he was ahead, he was strong, and they could really use his team presence, or his fight presence in team fights.
Yeah, so I don't think Lulu needed to die there to Kog'Maw. She ended up flashing through to red when she was triple stunned, and we thought she was all going to go down. And it was just really unfortunate that Ezreal it missed Xerath by literally pixels, and that would have got the kill. Kayle probably wouldn't have died after that. It was just an unfortunate situation, but stuff happens. Can't deal with that.
Yeah. So yeah, Ezreal did finish off his Triforce, but if you look, that's all he has compared to what Kog'Maw has. Kog'Maw has the Infinity Edge. He has that Zeal. He's working on the Phantom Dancer now, it looks like, and once he can get that, he's going to be critting on quite a bit. His damage output will be really high, especially with that attack speed. It's going to scale with his W, which deals extra magic damage based on max health. So he really doesn't need to build that much damage. He just needs to build crit and attack speed, and his W will do the rest. So he's going to be really strong, and he's already really strong, but he's going to be extremely strong once he finishes off that Phantom Dancer. Alistar building a Glacial Shroud. He might be looking to get a Frozen Heart of his own. As we take a look at the gold per lane, we have Xerath up about 800 gold. Lee Sin is down to Alistar about 2k gold, which really shows just how much presence Alistar has had over the map. Ezreal is down about 2.7k gold, so yeah, just across the board, red team is well ahead. They're doubling them up in kills, 16 to 8. They're doubling them up in turrets. I'm not sure what the dragon count is. I think it is actually 2 to 1 for the red team. So they're just really outplaying them. They have a really strong command on this game, and I think that if they just group up and they can fight well, they can end it. The biggest threat though is Cho'Gath. We'll just see how Cho'Gath affects the team fight, because he is extremely tanky, and he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Blue team minions will pick up that kill, or the turret kill bot lane, so at least they have someone on their team doing something.
I'm not sure if anybody noticed, but Lulu wasted maybe 3 or 4 wards just putting it in the mid brush that was pink warded, and Taric got 3 or 4 ward kills just for free, just free gold.
I did miss that. Thank you for pointing that out. Not sure what she was doing there. But Alistar going to Shurilias in. Both teams actually popping their Shurilias. Here comes the engage. Lee Sin going in, trying to get to that Kog'Maw. They're really converging onto Lee Sin, trying to protect the Kog'Maw. You can see everyone is protecting Kog'Maw as he's doing damage. The exhaust will come down onto him. Lee Sin will escape with the Kayle ult on him. Cho'Gath is still doing tons of damage. He's really tanky. Lulu the first to fall. Will Kayle pick up... Kayle was going for Taric. I'm not sure why, but she did pick up the kill. Cho'Gath looks to get away. If Cho'Gath gets away, that's very good for him because he doesn't want to lose his feast stacks. They end up going 1-for-1, which is not terrible, but you can look how low the blue teams are. They have 2 guys with flashing red health. So, sorry, 1-for-2. It wasn't the greatest for... Oh my goodness, Ezreal getting caught by Kog'Maw. It wasn't the best engage for blue team, but getting a 1-for-2 wouldn't have been that bad. Now it's 1-for-3. They're going to pick up a turret off this, maybe 2. I'm not sure what they could do differently. I noticed that Kayle was going for Taric. I'm not sure if he just wanted to finish him off because he was low or what, but I think they really need to get to that Kog'Maw. Lee Sin tried, and he got shut down really hard. They're going to pick up a Baron here, it looks like. But yeah, I think they all need to go for that Kog'Maw, and it was only Lee Sin going there, and he got killed really fast.
Yeah, Baron attempt here. This should be uncontested. Cho'Gath can do what he wants, but I don't think he'll be able to stop this by any means. Lee Sin is coming in.
Yeah, they do have the Cho'Gath Feast and the Lee Sin Smite. Lee Sin is actually very good for stealing Baron with his Q. We'll have to see if he can get in. He can actually finish off Renekton here if he lands that Q. Nice, he's going to pick up 1 kill. This could be a big throw here for the red team, actually. Looks like they're going to catch 1 and maybe 2 here. Xerath might go down. They're going to look to fight this, actually. They need to focus the Kog'Maw if they're going to win the fight. Kayle knows what he's doing now. He's going to try to get him. He's going to flash in and go. He's doing tons of damage to Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw might go down here. No, Taric's going to force Kayle to back off there. They almost had him. The Ezreal snipe actually coming in will hit him, but not do enough to kill him. He's extremely low. It looks like blue team could have probably pushed that advantage a bit more. Red team was really greedy attempting the Baron there. Unfortunately, they did not get... Oh, they did get Xerath, but they did not get Kog'Maw. They will attempt a Baron of their own now, and if they can get this, they're going to be really... they're going to be back in the game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think Lee Sin and Cho'Gath spent too much time chasing Xerath instead of going for that Kog'Maw, who Kayle literally almost just destroyed herself. Alistair might be going for a steal here. Good rupture.
Yeah, Alistair gets in. He'll actually steal it. Alistair, he does go down, but... And he ruins his... What a team player. He ruins his perfect score. He's now 5-1, but he got that Baron. He stole it. He's just completely playing this Lee Sin this game. I mean, I don't want to rip on the Lee Sin, but I mean, he's been getting jungle really hard, and they will look to engage it now. Renekton he's going in like 1v4, and he knows that he's not going to die. He's so tanky. Kog'Maw cleanses away from the Kayle slow. Taric is just staying with Kog'Maw, protecting him. He's doing his job, but I mean, if Kayle can get Kog'Maw, which he probably could, then they can change the game around. They just need to catch the Kog'Maw once. And Taric is doing a really good job protecting him as Kayle gets taken out there. Ezreal will have to go back.
Xerath had great plays there. He teleported the ward that in the middle brush that had maybe a second left on it and ended up getting the kill on Lulu. And then he went and made the play onto Kayle. He stunned her, and Renekton ended up finishing that kill. See Kog'Maw, he looks like he's going for a Blade of the Rune King, which is just going to be very strong on him. He's going to be able to heal with that active, and the passive does percentage damage, so the same as his W, he's going to be doing a lot of damage to health stackers.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just really unfortunate for the blue team there. They got a bit of momentum. They caught red team doing a poor Baron. He got some kills, and they were about to get the Baron of their own, and Alistair comes in and completely changes the game around with that Baron steal. I mean, if blue team got that, they would have been caught up a bit in gold. They would have had the Baron buff. They could have probably pushed down some turrets. I mean, they only have 2 turrets right now. It's really unfortunate for them. I'm sure Lee Sin is feeling terrible. He might be getting ripped on by his team a little for that unfortunate Baron kill.
Do have a BF sword coming out on Lulu. She's going to be attempting to do some damage.
Not sure if there's a little beef between her and the AD carry right now, but we'll see. We'll see. You never know these days. I think blue team is starting to give up hope a bit, though. They might realize that they're in trouble. But I don't know. Lee Sin is getting pretty tanky. We're gonna see if, because he doesn't need to build that much damage to do that much damage, especially in the mid game. It's getting a bit late for him. I know Lee Sin usually falls off late, which is why he's building him tanky, because he knows that if he builds damage, he's just gonna fall off. So at least if he's another tanky person on that team, his goal in the late game is just gonna be to disrupt Kog'Maw. It's not going to be easy for him because Taric and Alistair and Renekton will all be able to provide a really big front line, like I was saying earlier, for them. And Kog'Maw has just been basically untouched throughout this game, which is the real problem that blue team's having. They haven't been able to get to him.
Yeah, just in that one exchange near Baron afterwards, Kale was the only person that was even remotely close to killing
Yeah, so the engage is going
Cosmo.
to come down. They're going to try to catch Lulu ult's going to come out actually really early on to Cho'Gath, of all people. They're all bunched up right now. Cho'Gath could land a really good rupture for his team. Remington going in balls deep. Alistair too. I mean, they're not really even trying to protect Kog'Maw. They're just going in right after the other team. They know that they don't have enough damage to kill Kog'Maw. I mean, Lee Sin tried to go in. Lee Sin just kicked him, did absolutely zero damage. It wasn't the smartest play by him. Cho'Gath will get away with about half health. But I mean, they have Baron buff. It's 5v4. They will be able to just poke down this turret. Actually, Kog'Maw is actually chasing down Cho'Gath here. It looks like he's going to pick him up. I'm not sure how he knew he was there, but he's going to need to land one more ultimate here, and he will pick him up, which would be huge for his team to get those resets on Cho'Gath's ultimate. As they pick up the inhibitor turret, it is a really long chase here, and maybe he won't get Cho'Gath. That was a big chase there for Kog'Maw. I was hoping to get that kill to shut down the Cho'Gath. Inhibitor gets picked up, and they will back off here. They have almost a 10k goal lead now, so it's really the game is really opened up in their favor. They're up 10 kills and 3 turrets. They might go and attempt the dragon here to increase that goal lead even more. But like I was saying before, the biggest problem for the blue team is they just have no way of getting to Kog'Maw. I mean, Lee Sin can get in there, but he just isn't he doesn't do enough damage, or he can't stay alive long enough to kill Kog'Maw. I mean, with a Taric stun, Kog'Maw's doing so much damage, and Lee Sin just can't out damage him. He can't finish off Kog'Maw before Kog'Maw kills him. Kale needs to be able to get in there somehow, because Kale is doing quite a bit of damage, but even if she gets in there, I mean, Alistair has just been chasing her around. Renekton gets up in Ezreal's face, and they just they have nothing. They have no way to kill Kog'Maw. They have no response to the aggressive bruisers on the red team. Sarath will pick up the blue buff for his team.
Yeah, something that the blue team would need right now would be like a Vi, where that assault and battery can just knock everybody out of the way and put Kog'Maw right into the middle of the fight. That would be the strong pick against them, but how are they going to know that he was going to get this strong and this fed?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I was saying, at the start of the game, the only way that they were going to get this is if they're going to catch someone with the Cho'Gath Q and just really burst them down right away. It just seems like the red team has been too smart for them. They haven't been. Kog'Maw has not been caught in the front. He's been staying in the back. He's been letting Alistair and Renekton do their jobs. And the blue team is just, they have had absolutely no answer to that. They're so far behind now that it's really looking unlikely that they're going to come back in this game.
Also, Lulu ult was pretty much misused in my opinion on the last fight. If you're gonna ult the Cho'Gath, who's already tanky in itself, he has to go into the fight and provide that slowing aura to provide that knock up CC and actually do something with that. All that extra health just went to waste because it wasn't used to save him. He didn't need it.
Yeah, for sure. It was a bit of maybe a misclick or something from Lulu, but she really needs to focus on using that, maybe to keep Lee Sin alive when he dives in on Kog'Maw, or maybe on the Kale. But yeah, it's just the Cho'Gath probably a low priority for that ult. He's not going to go down easily already, and yeah, like you said, unless he's diving in and the ult's going to be used for its utility, like its slows or its knockbacks, it's not really that worth it to put it on Cho'Gath. They will be taking out that bottom tier 2 turret. The minion wave was pushed for them, and blue team will have no response for that. They're up 6-3 on turrets now, and they just have complete control. They can go wherever they want on the map. They only have like one ward in the blue team's jungle. They don't even have that much vision, but they don't even need it because they're so strong. They can just do whatever they want. I mean, blue team, they're not even trying to defend this turret. I mean, Lee Sin and Lulu are pushing out mid. They give them the free turret. Surprised they didn't even try to contest that a bit. Alistair actually going to dive in. He's taking turret hits. Renekton also driving in. The Kale ult will actually come out, but she'll go down. Lee Sin will get away actually with the safeguard. Sarath taking turret hits. Kale does go down. They're gonna try to turn it around, maybe go into Taric here, but I mean he's not the person they want to be focusing. Even if they kill him, I mean their biggest problem is Kog'Maw, and it looks like they might actually catch him. He's been caught in front here. He could go down. But I mean, he backs up. The front line for the red team is just too strong. Renekton, Taric, Alistair. Alistair did get taken out, but I mean, he did his job. He went in the front line. He protected the Kog'Maw. They backed him up, and they let him get it back. It looked for a second like they were in trouble there when he got caught in the front. But I mean, Renekton, Alistair, and Taric all dive in. They all use their utilities, their stuns, and they keep Kog'Maw alive. Cho'Gath is trying to catch Xerath here. He's really strong, and I don't think they'll be able to fight him. They're going to look to disengage this, but this could be a potential opening for the blue team to make a play, but Tarek's gonna land the stun. They just have so much utility. Renekton gonna chase down Ezreal, gets the kill. They will pick up the kill on Lee Sin also. Wow, like Tarek is just peeling very well for Kog'Maw. All around good play by the red team there, just keeping all their carries alive. Tarek gonna stun Cho'Gath here in the bot lane. Will there be anyone to follow it up? Xerath will not be there in time, and they will disengage. Even the minions picking up the inhibitor turret though might like. They're up almost they're up 15k gold now. Just they have so much gold. They're all gonna go back. We'll see what they pick up here. They're gonna have tons of gold to spend. The lock, it looks like it's gonna get finished up. Kog'Maw has almost a full build now. He has the Infinity Edge, the Blade of the Ruin King, the Phantom Dancer, and the Last Whisper. It would be nice to see something that'll keep him alive, give him to sustain. Maybe a War Mogs, maybe a Guardian Angel. We'll see what he builds last. But yeah, he's very Glass Cannon right now. It doesn't look like they're going to lose this, but if Blue Team was to have a chance, they need to catch out that Kog'Maw, who still hasn't built anything tanky. He's 11-1. He does so much damage. They need to catch him, but with their base in pieces, I mean, I just can't see them really coming back right now. They have one inhibitor turret, or sorry, one Nexus turret left. Looks like Red Team's just going to do a Baron here and end it.
Yeah, just absolutely fearless. I don't know if you saw there in Ekton, he just flashed for that Ezreal and just stunned him and killed him, and he ended up picking up a double kill there.
Oh yeah, I saw that. He went in, Lulu polymorphed him, and he just stood there. He had maybe less than 1,000 health. He still got it. Ezreal all coming out too late. He's not going to get the Baron. Unlikely, but he had to try it. They got 5 guys coming through now. They're going to look to push this. Alistair's probably going to pop Shirley. They're going to see if they can catch someone here. But I mean, even looking at the level advantages, Alistair's got 2 levels on Lee Sin. Kog'Maw's got 3 levels on Ezreal. Sorry, Xerath's got a level on Kayle. Everyone's ahead. Lulu's down 2 levels. Like it's just been an all-around dominant performance by the red team. They're up turrets, they're up kills, they're up gold, they're up levels. They just absolutely dominated the red team. And as this last turret goes down, they can't really do anything to contest it. They're actually gonna hop onto Kog'Maw here, but he's just too strong. He does too much damage. He can even 1v1 the Lee Sin. Cho'Gath can't do anything. They have too much CC. They can't get to the Kog'Maw without him doing so much damage. He's just so fed. And we said at the beginning of the game that if he got ahead early game, he's going to become that really hyper carry late game, and he had the team to protect him, and that is why we'll see the GG's coming out. The game is over. Kog'Maw played well. Of course, Alistair played very well. Renekton, Xerath also played well. Tarek was peeling amazingly for Kog'Maw, and there was just no response from the red team. They had nothing to do. Cho'Gath was tanky. He finished 3-1-3 actually, but like he just didn't do enough damage to be able to finish anyone off. He wasn't able to. So yeah, congrats to the red team.
Also pointing out, it took 40 minutes for Ezreal to finish a Bloodthirster. An AD carry with 2 items in 40 minutes is just not a good AD carry. He fell really behind in farm. He didn't look like he was ever going back bottom lane when there was nobody there to farm, and he was just falling behind slowly and slowly. The Triforce first was definitely not a good idea.
For sure, yeah. I mean, 163 CS at 40-minute mark is it's really bad. You should be at least in the 250s somewhere. Like Kog'Maw's CS wasn't even ideal, but I mean, he was just so far ahead on kills and stuff. I guess he just felt like it didn't even matter. Yeah, just a dominant performance by the red team all across the board. Like even Renekton, who was getting outlaned by Cho'Gath early on, just became such a dominant force. Alright, we're going to head into interviews with the winning and losing teams, so just sit tight for a couple seconds while we get into their lobbies.
I have no clue.
Alright, we're with the blue team now. They played hard, but in the end it didn't work out for them. We're going to ask a few questions to each of the players. We're going to start with, who are we going to start with? We're going to start with Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath, you did well in your lane. Of course, you were beating Renekton, out CSing him. You were bullying him around, but you weren't strong enough to win the team or the game for your team. What was it like? What was it like for you coming into the first team fight that you were in? Like you came in, you couldn't do enough damage. Like how do you feel about that game? Do you feel like you should have built more damage, or like were you not tanky enough, or what was the problem in that game for you? Where did you feel?
I don't think he's in here anymore, but
yeah,
he was a pretty big douche at the end of the game.
He was raging so hard, it was hilarious. Oh
really?
my god.
Sorry to hear that. I'll move on then. We'll talk to we'll talk to Kale.
She's not
Of course.
here.
Oh my goodness.
The only ones in here now are Lulu and Lee Sin.
Okay, Lulu and Lee Sin. All right, we'll go to Lulu. What was it like in that ball lane? I mean, Alistair had tons of presence in that lane.
Oh Jesus. It was terrible.
Yeah. Like I know you guys had awards, but you guys had it pushed sometimes, and it was just he was always there. He played. You have to agree that he played very well. I would say, he was early game. He was like the reason that they got such a big lead. So like, what do you feel like you could have done differently there, maybe to stop such a dominant force? Because honestly, coming in, I didn't think you'd be that strong.
Well, when I face checked the bush at like 3 minutes in, like that was already bad enough. And then I knew that they were going to take our red, so I should have warded the tri-brush, but I didn't because I wanted to save those wards to have more lane presence. And it got me killed, so it got Kog'Maw another kill, and then he just snowballed from there, and there was really nothing we could do bot lane. Alistair ganked a bunch of other times, and like he had boots of mobility at that point, so by the time I could get him ranged to slow him down, somebody was already dead, so there was really nothing we could have done except for farm passively. But our lane seemed to keep pushing. So
Yeah, it was just unfortunate that first blood. He had no idea that they were in there. Of course, we saw it coming, but from there was just Kog'Maw got ahead and he snowballed it. We'll ask Lee Sin actually, because as the team fights went on, I'm sure you guys realized that Kog'Maw needed to go down. He needed to die. He was the one doing the most damage, and I feel like Lee Sin was one of the only two guys really trying to kill Kog'Maw. Like, what was it like for you going into to kill Kog'Maw? Because did you feel like there was just too much CC on the blue team?
I wasn't really trying to kill Kog'Maw. I was just trying to kick him away from everyone because he was just doing way too much damage, but I couldn't even pull that off because I just got stunned and knocked up.
Yeah, it seemed like they had a really good composition on the other team. I think their composition was just too strong. They had too much protection for Kog'Maw, and once he got ahead, it looked to be too hard for you guys to kill him, because it looked like you were the only person actually trying to go onto Kog'Maw at all. I'm not sure what Ezreal was really doing in team fights. Cho'Gath was in the middle of things, but I mean, it just looked really difficult for you. It looked like you were struggling there to do some damage onto Kog'Maw, and I almost feel bad for you to have to deal with that.
Yeah, I know Ezreal's not here, but Triforce first. You don't do that when you're that far behind, and like honestly, at the end of the game, Lulu almost had as much AD as him. So
we had about no communication at all. Like, no one was talking over Mumble. No one was really talking over just the leak chat at all.
Our Ezreal had to leave Mumble because it was making his game lag, and then somebody else, I don't know who, somebody else left Mumble, and then it was just like me and two other people in there, and nobody was really talking in it. So
it was pretty much just like a solo queue game.
That is unfortunate. I think that actually one last thing we'll talk about is at the Baron buff, when they were doing it and you guys caught them doing it, and that was your chance probably to turn around the game. You caught, I think it was Xerath doing it, and you guys almost killed Kog'Maw, but I feel like you guys chased Xerath for too long there. You should have left him, or maybe left one person on him and chased Kog'Maw. Like, what was going through your heads like when you guys saw that they were doing Baron, you went in to steal it there? Like, what was your plan? Or did you guys have any communication there at all, or was it just quiet and you guys were all kind of just doing your own thing?
I mean, we were really doing our own thing, but we knew that like we had to get certain people out of the fight because they were fed. Like, we had to Pia Ali, jump onto Kog'Maw, and like we did that. Like, we got them all out of the fight. They either had to base or they died. But when we went to do Baron right afterwards, I was going to polymorph Alistair so he couldn't flash in, but we didn't kill Baron fast enough, so he was able to flash in and smite steal it, which was really impressive. That Alistair was actually really good.
Yeah, he played extremely well. That looked to be like your big chance to turn around the game. If you guys got that Baron, you would have cut the goal lead to maybe like less than 5k, and it would have been really close. But unfortunately, it didn't work out in your favor. I think unless you have another question, Telfi, I think we're done here.
Yeah, let's move on to the winning team.
So yeah, thank you guys for playing. Thank you for asking the questions, sticking around after. Come back to play next week. We're gonna move on to the other team now.
See ya.
All right, now we're with the is Telfian here? We'll start without him, I guess. Okay, we're joining the winning team now. Congrats to all you guys on playing such a great game. We're gonna start with a question for Alistair, I guess. I'm not gonna lie, going into the game, I doubted Alistair's ability to be a dominant force in the jungle. I thought he was gonna fall behind early and he was gonna suffer, but he was everywhere. I mean, he ganked bot, then he ganked mid, then he got ganked top. You got all your lanes fed. And you did a really good job. Of course, the Baron steal was huge. What was your game plan going in as Alistair? Like, were you planning to gank every lane, or did it just happen to work out that way? What was your idea going into the game?
Well, if we're playing Alistair, like you kind of I mean, a lot of people kind of not think that he's a good jungler, but like his combo is just so strong. But basically, playing him, like the jungle presence, I think is the most important factor of the whole game, regardless of any lane. If your jungler has presence, the other team is going to be scared all the time. They're always going to be wondering where he is, what he's doing, where's he going to be next. So like for me, I just like with him, like my CS is at 79. Like I don't really care to CS as Alistair because he does things so slowly. So I pretty much just try and get kills and assists for my team, and it ended up working out pretty much perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, in the first fight, you guys were at 5-0 at the start, and I think you were 3-0 and 2. You dominated the game early, and you really got your team a solid lead. And then I think Kog'Maw took it from there, basically. And, of course, Xerath was playing well. Renekton was a force as the game went on. But, I mean, you really played well in the early game. One thing I want to talk about is top lane. You went top lane a few times, but the ganks didn't really work out. What was going on top lane? Why couldn't you get successful ganks there early on?
I think it was just because the Cho was able to out-sustain Renekton. I mean, Renekton doesn't really have a whole lot of sustain, and he built a Warmog straight off the bat. So basically, me being there was just kind of giving the pressure off of him. So he was able to free farm, maybe get a couple creeps, just trying to play aggressive and just to not have him die or something.
All right, thank you. We're gonna go to I think we're gonna go to Renekton now. What was it, Renekton? What was it like laning against that Cho'Gath? According to the other team, he was their best player, but he was a bit of a scumbag. Apparently, he was getting mad at the other team. What was it like laning against him? Because it seemed that you were having a rough time.
Well, originally, we kind of looked him up because he wasn't originally the top laner because he was obviously sub. So we found out that he plays Garen, like only Garen. Like all of his matches are Garen. So we're like, all right, let's just ban out Garen. Like Garen's a pretty annoying, and he pretty much gives a hard time to Renekton anyways. So we got him out of the picture, and I wasn't expecting Cho to be so good at Cho. Like not even like good, but I wasn't expecting him to like be smart with Cho basically, and I was expecting to try to get like maybe a level 3 kill, and we did get a gank off and we got a kill, but after that like I just built tanky and I just wanted to build like survival. I wasn't trying to build like a carry Renekton or anything, just building the typical tank Renekton, and I couldn't do any damage to him, so it was basically a farm fest. And
yeah, I want to give you props for like holding on that top lane for so long, because I feel like when you were holding out top lane, he just Cho'Gath stayed there for way too long. He should have asked for the jungler to come and end that lane, because like while you were holding out there and he was beating on you slowly, bad choice of words, but the 4v4 like with Alistair, Xerath, Lulu, and Ezreal, did I screw that up? Kog'Maw, Alistair, Xerath, and Taric were just completely destroying the other 4 members from the blue team, and while you were keeping them there, like the only person on their team that didn't really like any damage or was any like worth anything, the rest of your team was just really snowballing the game in your team's favor. So I think you played really well in a tough circumstance. So I'll give you props there. We'll move on to the bot lane now. If Kog'Maw is still here, what was it like for you when you got that first blood? Like, was it like, did it really make the lane easy for you, or what do you have to say about that lane in general?
I mean, yeah, obviously First Blood made it a lot easier, and especially that red steal that Alistar got for me. That wasn't intentional, of course, but I felt like it secured that kill on Lulu that we needed, and from there I felt like I just snowballed with the help of Taric, and yeah.
Yeah, and of course you were doing tons of damage, but I noticed that in team fights the blue team had just had no way of getting to you. I mean, Renekton and Alistair were they were up in the other team's face, and then anyone who went on you was usually Lee Sin, who wasn't very strong to begin with. But I mean, Taric was peeling for you very well. So I mean, Taric, I'll switch to you now. What was your goal in team fights, or what were you planning to do? Because I noticed every time you were just following around Kog'Maw and just peeling for him, doing a really good job. Sorry.
The plan there was just basically stun the AD carry, stun the carries, and protect Kog'Maw. Make sure no one got to him, and die for him if you need to. That's pretty much the only reason I died the whole game.
Yeah, you played very well. I noticed that you were keeping Kog'Maw alive a lot. There's one team fight right near the end of the game, I think. Sorry, it might have been the second last team fight when you guys got their first Nexus turret, where Kog'Maw actually got cut a little bit in the front, and then Alistair, all of you, Alistair, Tarek, and Remington, all kind of just jumped in front. I know Alistair went down there, but you guys all kind of just jumped in and CC'd everyone, and Kog'Maw got to go in the back and just stay alive. And it was really nice to see like how big of a front line everyone had for Kog'Maw. And I know like he went 11-1, but it was kind of everyone like playing well together, everyone protecting him. Haven't really talked about the Zerath. I know Telfi was watching the Zerath a lot play mid, so do you have any questions to ask him?
No, I just want to say props for using that teleport to get that double kill on Lulu and Kale. That was very good, going back to that last second ward. You just used it really well. And there was like one questionable play when you kind of turret dove Kale, and she got the kill because she had intervention up. But other than that, you played really well. You farmed well. I got a question though. Why upgrade to Archangels so soon? Is it just because you needed the damage from it, or is there a reason you didn't stack your tier up fully before you bought that item?
Mostly it was just a money thing at the time, and I was trying to get, like, Kale was pushing really hard all game, and my Q wasn't one-shotting the back line yet, and so I knew that I needed to get some damage, and I just was going back to the store at like 1,200 gold or 1,400 gold. I didn't quite have the 1,600 for a needlessly large rod, so I was basically trying to make the best that I could given where I was at. And I was getting lucky on the blue buffs, and so I just decided to go ahead and convert it, because I had a blasting wand earlier, and I had the tier, and I went back, and I was like, well, I can either buy another blasting wand, or I can just finish it, so why not?
Yeah, I believe you stole the blue buff away from Kale at one point. It was warded, and you had a great steal on that. That was a good play.
Yeah, I think it was the third blue.
Wrap this up and move back to the room.
All right, last question before we go. Speaking of blue buffs, we'll go back. There was a certain blue buff that Alistair was giving to, I believe, Kog'Maw, and his passive stole it. What do you have to say for yourself, Alistair? I know you played well, but I think you have some explaining to do there.
It wasn't the passive. It was the mastery for the attacking of the 6 damage. That works out. Yeah,
okay.
Like,
Yeah,
it was so low. Yeah, it was so low. Like it ticked off because he ulted it once and then it went down to like almost no HP and then it auto attacked me and then it took it away.
All right. I just wanted to clarify what happened there because it's a little funny. Yeah. So again, thank you guys for staying after the game, chatting with us. Congratulations on your win. I hope to see you all next week. And I think that concludes our show today. Me and Telfi are heading out. Thank you everyone who's viewing us for joining us, and we'll see you all next week.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Alright, I am the Doctor, your caster streamer extraordinaire of the night. I don't believe the last 2 casters are going to rejoin me here. I would just like to thank all the viewers for sticking with us through the night, all the players for showing up on time, the casters for doing a great job. Everybody was wonderful tonight, and we hope to see you next week. And a shout out to Venetius for helping me set this all up. It was a lot of help, and it was a lot of fun, and I will hope to be back here next week with you guys, and you guys have